Hey, welcome back to the desk. What we have here, I think I've done about 6 seconds of research. This is the old pocket knife that I came across when my grandfather died. Basically, my mom gave me a bunch of tools in this like metal toolbox. It's like an old metal toolbox, except it didn't have the box part of it, just had the shelf part. And there were a bunch of tools in there. I kept the tools and got rid of the shelf piece because I really didn't have a way to store that well. And then I shoved this into my little hardware box and kind of forgot about it. I knew I didn't want to get rid of it, but I wasn't really sure of anything about it. So today we're going to clean it up and see if we can do a little research and see what this is. It looks like from the blade right here, looks like it says Imperial England. So, and it has a little emblem here, maybe a crown emblem, I can't tell. We're going to go ahead and we're going to use probably this vinegar. We're going to soak it in. I'm going to grab an old toothbrush and see if we can get a lot of this cleaned up. This I'm hoping just to get the dirt out. There's a lot of grease and stuff on it, it looks like, as it's starting to come off. So I'm hoping to kind of degrease it a little bit. I'm just going to use some vinegar for now, and then we're going to see how bad the corrosion is and work from there. And a little backstory on it. This grandfather, my mom's dad, died in 1996. So this has pretty much been sitting in my tool organizer. Made it through, I don't know, 3 or 4 moves, you know, through different parts of the Midwest here, and you know, still have it. So how many, what is it, 2022? That's a long time. 16 years or so it's been being hauled around. And I was out cleaning my garage and organizing my hardware bin, thinking I gotta chuck some of this that I never use. You know, I'm always afraid I'm gonna drop dead one of these days and just leave everybody a big mess. So been working hard to get everything cleaned up and only hang on to what I'm gonna use. You know, if I haven't used it in 5 or 6 years, it's time for it to go. You know, that's kind of the bad part of being a hoarder, I guess. But yeah, I came across it, cleaning up everything, and thought, hey, this would make a great video. Let's try to revive this thing and see how it looks. Let it soak for a while and come back and scrub it a little more. You know, this is by no means, I'm sure, a collectible knife. This is more just, you know, it's been in the family for a while, so I should clean it up and just hang on to it. Got this little screwdriver I'm trying to dig some of this dirt out with and see if it comes out without scratching too much. You know, I'm gonna guess it's probably, I don't know, mid-century. Let's see, my grandfather was about 65 when he died in 96, so he was born in the 30s, early 30s. Don't know if he bought this new or if he got this from a family member. No real story behind it, unfortunately. So we'll just have to dig. I think Imperial as a brand, at least from my 6 seconds of research I did on the internet, which, you know, can't be wrong. The internet's never wrong, right? But I think it was more of a, what do they call it, a value brand. So it was probably like a drugstore knife or something, I'm guessing, which that's okay with me. I mean, I can remember buying my first pocket knife in the wonderful Osco drugstore in the Muncie Mall. Probably late 70s. Saved up my allowance to buy that. Still have that somewhere. I should dig it up and do a little video on that one next. But, you know, I like pocket knives. I don't know why. I'm just like, I'm an old guy, I guess, right? Like these. Always handy to have a knife when you carry with you every day. You know, you never know when you're gonna need to open something, or you know, it just comes in handy. It's a handy piece to have with you every day. Yeah, the probably a drugstore knife. Looks like it has a pearl handle. Don't know if that's real or not. Have to do more research, but I'm gonna keep letting it soak and scrub a little bit, and then I think we're gonna move to something like a WD-40 to try to clean it up a little more. Alright guys, I think my soaking is done. If you look at that, that doesn't really look, there's not a lot of corrosion in there. There's a little bit back here, where it says Imperial England on that blade, but it's not too bad. It cleans up pretty good. There was just a lot of gunk on it, so I think we're gonna step up to a little bit more intense cleaner, especially in here. This is, let me see if I can get you in here. This is where a lot of the corrosion comes into play, and there's just kind of pocket fuzz and everything in there that I can't really seem to get out. Let's try this, see if we can get anything out of there. But yeah, that's just where we're gonna have to keep at it, keep working. I think I'm gonna maybe find another container, empty this one out, go find some WD-40 out in the garage. There's more corrosion on this side that I'd really love to clean up, and maybe just soak it down in some WD-40 for a while and come back, polish it off, and then wash it off again and see where we stand. I mean, it's already, the handle's looking so much better, or the plastic inlay, the I assume it's plastic, the pearl-like inlay, I'll call it, already looking so much better. You know, real quick, I wish I knew some more story behind this, but unfortunately I don't. You know, it's one of those where you're younger, you know, trying to build your career and go fast like crazy, and you don't ask enough questions of the old people around you, and you kind of kick yourself for it these days. But yeah, no story behind it. Okay guys, we are back at it. I got a can of WD-40. I'm gonna try to just, got it in this different container. I know it's a little hard to view, but I do have a straw on this one, so hopefully I can get some on there. And again, I'm by no means a pocket knife expert. This is just a I don't want to call it a family heirloom, but it's been in the family, obviously. I do have this old steel wool. When I had this old Victorian house, I bought this stuff by the rolls, and I still have a bunch left that I keep out in the garage. It's like a 000. And what we used it for back then was stripping wood. We had some nice old oak wood in that house, like quarter sawn, looks like tiger's hair, whatever they call that, right? That they painted over all that stuff, and so I bought this. We've since sold that house, moved back to the original house we were in that we rented out for a while. It's been a pretty fun adventure. So still have a lot of stuff left over from the redo of that house. So this is like it's a super fine, non-scratching, and I wish I had started a YouTube channel way back when, but I think we bought that house in 08, 09, you know, when everything fell apart. We'll see what happens again soon. I had a lot of young kids back then, and YouTube wasn't top of my mind, that's for sure. All right, I'm gonna let that soak in here, maybe move it around a little bit, and then we'll give it another washout once it sits for a bit. Looks like the blades are cleaning up okay. There's still a lot of gunk on this one. So I'm gonna work it a while. We'll see what happens. All right, we are back from lots of scrubbing, lots of using that fine steel wool. Let's open it up and see. It is actually much cleaner. Still got some WD-40 residue on it, I'll call it. So I think next, oh, it does look much better. Look at that handle. There was so much grime in these areas. You can actually see the label. There's a little bit of grime on that side of it. Maybe we can get that out with the toothbrush bath when we wash it again. The inside, still a little crusty, but it's been soaking in that WD-40 for now. I still got some corrosion up here on these pieces. Probably really the only way to get that super clean is to take everything apart, but I'm trying not to do that at this moment. Sorry, I bumped the camera. This is so much cleaner right here than what we were before this started. And if you look, let me get my hand out of the way, you can actually read the branding right there, right? You can actually see there's a crown there, Imperial England. That's so much better just from that little soak. Now, there is a lot of scratches on here, so I think what we'll do is we'll wash it up first, then maybe we'll try to buff this up a little bit, polish it up. Okay guys, I've done 6 more seconds of research and I'm still stuck. I really don't know how old this is. I know it has to be, well, I don't. I guess I have no idea. So if you know anything about this Imperial England, let me know. I guess Imperial was a US company and then they ended up buying an English company. Who knows when, right? I think some I saw was 82, but maybe this is from the 80s. I don't know. I'm questioning myself, but I'm going to continue cleaning. You can see we've got it cleaned up very well. Again, if you know something about it, leave a comment and let me know. You know, I know it's not worth anything or not worth much, at least from looking on eBay and such, but nobody really says how old they are. So I'm going to continue on with hand buffing. I've been hand buffing this blade. You can tell by how bad that is. Let me show you what I got here real quick. It's Turtle Wax rubbing polishing compound, I guess. So this is the roughest one I have. I'll call it highest grit. I also have a polishing compound. So I'll follow up with the polishing compound. I'm just trying to do the metal parts with the rubbing compound, and I'm just doing it by hand. And it's working pretty good. It's getting a lot of the grime off there. So I'm going to continue at this. And like I said, I'm going to leave a little patina on it because I don't believe it's worth much from my 6 seconds of research. So I'm going to keep doing this with a rubbing compound. I'm going to start by looking at that one real good, and I'll bring you back when I'm done rubbing this. Alright guys, I've been polishing a lot with the rubbing compound. Not really, not a huge difference. It did get rid of some more rust, but one thing it did do, I don't know if you can see that on this camera, you can see how scratched up that blade is. It's like, wow. Now that we've got this cleaned up and shining, you can see how scratched up that is. So next we're going to move to our polishing compound and just kind of give that a good rub and see if we can get that cleaned up a little more. Okay guys, there we have it. That's about as good as it gets cleaning it by hand. Let me put a before picture up. I think I got one here I can put in as a freeze frame anyway. Still got a little bit of grime in there. Not too bad though. So much cleaner. So much cleaner here. I think I'll just probably squirt a little more WD-40 into that. Just, you know, to make sure we can get that rust inhibitor in there so it opens good. Let me get some close-up shots of it. I'll do the macro shots just like I do on the watches, and that way you guys can see what I'm talking about when I talk about scratches. But the blades, they're not bad. I mean, so much better than what they were. You can see, well, maybe you can't, right along there, there's some scratches. Still need to clean a little bit out in the little thumb indent. And this is really the rust I just couldn't get off, at least rubbing by hand, but it is so much better. And again, scratches here. So I think we're ready to sharpen this thing. I won't put that in the video. You guys don't want to watch that. It's kind of boring, but here's the other blade. I think I'll wrap this video up now, and I'll just put some macro shots in like I do with the watches, some close-ups so you can see how it is. Again, anybody has any information on this, Like I said, I thought it was my grandfather's because it was in his toolbox. I guess it could have been his son's, my uncle, but they're both gone right now, so can't go back and ask now. Too late. So anybody knows Imperial England, I'll get a close-up shot of that so you can see it, along with the other imprint on it, branding mark. That's all we got. Let's end with some close-ups.